One of the questions that I get asked a lot is how we can do presentations instead of 4:3, but do them in a 16:9 format. Most monitors, LCD panels, most computer screens, projectors will display in an HD 16:9 format. And we're using these PowerPoints that are designed in a 4:3 design. So if we take a look at this, and I'm going to go over this in both Mac and Windows. We're going to start with Windows on how you would change or design in 16:9 and 4:3. So let's take a look. I've created this one slide PowerPoint, and the first thing I want to do is show you this is designed in a 4:3. If we do a presentation, you'll notice the black bars on the side. The only way that we've been able to get rid of that in the past is to stretch these out, and that would change any pictures to a wider format. The text would look stretched. So that's not the way we want to do this. To change this to a 16:9 format, where you would find this is Office PowerPoint 2010. If you go to the Design tab and we go to the Page Setup, you'll notice Slides sized 4, and the default is 4:3. If you open up this drop box, you'll see that the next selection is 16:9, and that's what we want to do. So when I select this, watch the format of the slide in the background. It switches to that widescreen format. So when you start your design, you would create your new slide. Make sure you go into your design, page setup, and then you would select that 16:9 format, and you can design from there. That way your text, your pictures, and everything are placed in the correct aspect ratio without designing in that 4:3 and then having to stretch that. If you do take an old 4:3 presentation, either on Mac or on a PC, and you change it from 4:3 and go into that design page setup, and you change it to 16:9, you would have to resize all your images, redo all your text, because it will stretch that. But now that we're in a 16:9 format, if you take a look at the presentation and we start it, you'll notice there is no more of the black lines and it fills the screen. So this is good for doing presentations on projectors, on screens and monitors without having those black bars, so you can get that full screen effect. However, in Mac, there is a little bit of a difference right now. This is in Office 2011 for Mac. Again, same slide, single slide, and we are in that 4:3 format right now. On a Mac, we don't have a Design tab. For Mac, we go into File. We hit our page setup here. And again, you'll notice the slide sized 4. Default again is 4:3. We want to move this to the 16:9, and in the background, you'll notice the slide moves to that. So the difference between the two is, again, Mac is in the File, and on the Windows we go into that Design tab. I talked a little bit about what happens if you have a presentation that already has a 4:3 aspect ratio and we just convert it over. So this has a graphic logo right up here. It has some text. It has a picture that's been placed with some text above it as well. So if we went in either in Windows or on a Mac, and we go into that page setup, and we change this, watch what happens to this picture, watch what happens to this logo, from that 4:3 to the 16:9, and we convert it over, you notice that the Phoenix College logo here stretches out. So it shrinks it down and compresses everything down in. It also compress this picture down and move this up. So it kind of crunches everything from the top and the bottom to make that 16:9 format. So the workaround, if you have something that's been designed in 4:3, would be to convert it to 16:9 and then resize your images, remove your text to where you want it to go. It takes a little bit of work to do, but you could put it in that 16:9 format. Or the best practice at this point, since most monitors and displays and projectors are now 16:9 format, is to just, when you start, make sure that you select the 16:9 scaling. So I hope that helps. That's your tech tip for the day on making sure you do widescreen 16:9 format for your PowerPoint presentations, both Windows and for Mac.